Hello everyone. After doing the accounting treatment on forfeiture of shares, we will learn about the reissue of forfeited shares. So first of all, we will learn about the meaning of reissue of forfeited shares. Once the shares have been forfeited, those shares can be reissued at par, premium and discount. So we can reissue the shares at a price which is equal to the nominal value or higher than it and less than the nominal value. So first of all, we will discuss the journal entry for reissue of forfeited shares at par. So when the shares are forfeited and are reissued and the reissue price is equal to the nominal value of the share, that is called that reissue is done at par. So the simple journal entry is bank account debited to share capital and bank account is debited with the amount received, that is the at the time of reissue, and to share capital, that is the amount credited as paid up amount at the time of reissue. So next is when the reissue is done at a discount. That means when the reissued price is less than the nominal value. So when we receive the price which is less than the nominal value at the time of reissue, that is called reissue at a discount. See, the journal entry is a bit different as we have received less amount than the paid up capital. So this difference will come in share forfeited account. And this is called as discount on reissue of shares. With this amount, the issue price is less than the paid up value of the shares. So the entry goes like this: bank account debited with the amount received, share forfeited account debited with the discount on reissue, and to share capital with the amount credited as fully paid. One thing we must remember and which is very important for reissue of forfeited shares is that what can be the maximum amount of discount. The maximum amount of discount on reissue of shares cannot exceed the amount originally received on those shares. Let us discuss one example. Let there be a share of rupees 100 and 40 rupees were originally received on their share. That is, for the non-payment of 60 rupees, these shares were forfeited. 40 rupees we received, 60 we did not receive, and the shares are cancelled. In this case, the maximum discount will be 40. That is, we cannot give the discount which can be more than 40 rupees. Next we discuss is the reissue of forfeited shares which is done at a premium. That is, the amount of reissue is greater than the nominal value of the shares. Here the amount received is more than this share capital paid up amount. So the excess amount we will credit to securities premium reserve account. I repeat, the entry bank account debited with the amount received, to share capital with the amount called up, and to securities premium reserve, that is the premium on reissue. This is the amount of premium on reissue. So children, what we do with the amount of share forfeited account that is left after we have passed the previous entry in each of these three cases. I repeat, when we have passed the entry for reissue, then after that entry we have to transfer the amount of share forfeited account to capital reserve account because that denotes a capital gain or a gain of capital nature. So when the reissue is done at a discount, then that discount on reissue is deducted from the share forfeited amount or the amount existing in share forfeited account, and that gain on reissue will be transferred to capital reserve. This is we discussed at the time of discount, when the reissue is done at a discount. Then we find out the gain at the reissue of the shares. But when the reissue is done at par or at premium, then the total amount forfeited is treated as capital gain, and that total amount is transferred to capital reserve. Children, these two cases we are discussing when all the forfeited shares are reissued. There can be two situations: when all the shares are reissued and when all the shares are not reissued. So first of all, we will discuss the case when all the forfeited shares are reissued. Then in case of discount, when reissue is done at a discount, then the capital gain that we find out after passing the entry of reissue, that will be transferred to capital reserve. But when the reissue is done at par or premium, then the total amount of forfeited share account is a capital gain, and that is transferred to capital reserve account. So let us discuss this case with the help of a question. Ganga Limited forfeited 500 shares of rupees 10 each for the non-payment of first call money of rupees 3 per share. The nominal value is 10 each and the first call is of 3 per share. The final call of rupees 2 is yet to be made. So the called up amount is clear, that is 8 rupees, that comes after deducting 2 rupees from the nominal value. All the forfeited shares were reissued. Pass the necessary journal entries in these two cases. When the shares are reissued for rupees 9 per share, rupees 8 called up. See children, here the amount received is rupees 9. The reissue price is 9 rupees, but the paid up value of shares is given, that is rupees 8. So the issue price is greater than, reissue price is greater than the paid up value of the shares. So this amounts to reissue of shares at a premium. So we will discuss each case separately. So let us pass the journal entries. I repeat the main points of the question. We are forfeiting 500 shares of the nominal value of 10 rupees, out of which 2 rupees is not called. So only rupees 8 has been called, and out of that amount, called up amount, only rupees 3 is not paid. So obviously out of 8, 5 rupees are paid and 3 is not paid. Let us pass the entries for the forfeiture of the shares. So first entry for forfeiting the share will be share capital account will be debited with 500 shares of rupees 8 called up, that is 4,000 rupees will come here, and out of that we have received amount will come in shares forfeited account that we discussed earlier also. We have not received 3 rupees, so we have received 5 rupees so far on these shares, and what we have not received is share first call of rupees 3 per share. So here we will check the total. It comes to be 4,000 on each side. So this is the entry for forfeiture of the share. So this is the common entry, which is the entry for forfeiture of shares. For case 1 now we will pass the entry for reissue of the shares. Now the case was the shares were reissued at rupees 9 per share. So issue price, now all the shares have been reissued. So 500 forfeited shares have been reissued. So what will come here in the bank column? And the paid up amount was that is given is 8 rupees. So 4,000 rupees is the share capital amount, and the remaining is the securities premium reserve account. So 500 into 1, that is 500. Here also we can check the amount. So in a nutshell, I am briefing the amount here. We had forfeited 500 shares on which the first call was not received and the final call was not made. So the first call was of rupees 3 per share. That means out of 10 rupees, rupees 2 was not called up. So out of rupees 8, rupees 3 is not received. So what we received is rupees 5 per share. That means it would include application and share allotment money. Now children, as we discussed earlier, when the shares are reissued, then the amount existing in share forfeited account is transferred to capital reserve account. As you can see here, the amount in share forfeited account is rupees 2,500. So I told you earlier also that in case the shares are reissued at par or premium, here the shares are reissued at a premium. You can see securities premium reserve is credited. So nothing has been used from share forfeited account. So the whole amount of rupees 2,500 is a capital gain, and that will be transferred to capital reserve account. So the entry for that will be so the whole amount of rupees 2,500 will be transferred to capital reserve account in order to register a gain of rupees 2,500. So now we come to the case 2. When the shares are reissued at rupees 5 per share. Now children, one thing we have to remember, when the paid up amount is not given on the reissued share, the paid up value is assumed to be the amount called up at the time of till the forfeiture of the shares. That means in this case rupees 8 had been called up, so the paid up value will be considered to be rupees 8 and not rupees 10. So this is an assumption. When the question is silent, this is when the question is silent. The question might tell the paid up value to be fully paid also. But when it is silent, the paid up value will be considered as the called up value. So we read the question again. The shares are reissued at rupees 5 per share now. So the entry for forfeiture will remain the same. That is, share capital account will be debited. In both cases, this entry will be common. To share forfeiture, the amount received with 2,500 and to share first call rupees 1,500. But now these shares are reissued at rupees 5 per share and the paid up value is not given, so we will assume this paid up value to be. So this entry we are passing it for reissue. Forfeiture we have already passed. So at the time of reissue, the entry will be like this: bank account debited on 500 shares, rupees 5 have been received. But the paid up value that we will credit it to share capital account, that is not given, so we will assume it to be the called up amount, that was rupees 8 per share till the forfeiture of shares. So the difference of both these amounts will be the discount on reissue of shares, which will be debited to shares forfeited account. So for 500 shares it will be rupees 3 per share. So children, this is the entry we pass for the reissue of shares which were reissued at discount. So the remaining balance of share forfeited account will be transferred to capital reserve. Now the original amount was 2,500 in the share forfeited account. Out of that, rupees 1,500 is used or debited because of discount. This is the discount on reissue of shares. So 2,500 minus 1,500, rupees 1,000 will be transferred to capital reserve, because this is now the capital gain on or after the reissue of the shares. So children, this was the case of reissue of shares at premium and at discount. Now children, we will discuss the cases when all the forfeited shares are not reissued. It may happen that the company is not reissuing all the forfeited shares. In that case, what we have to do in order to find out the gain on reissue of shares, we will find out the proportionate amount of forfeited shares on reissued shares. That is, the amount of forfeited shares as a which belong to reissued shares out of the forfeited shares. Then we will deduct the amount of discount on reissue, and that will give us the proportionate income on the reissued shares. The remaining balance in the share forfeited account will be there only because that represent the amount of share forfeited on the shares which have not been reissued so far. So this I tell to my children, in order to remember like this, amount into R upon F. This is easy to remember. So amount is in capital word, A is in capital letter, that indicates the share forfeited amount. So this is your way of remembering. R I have taken from this, and A I have taken from this, and F I have taken from this. So this I find it easier to remember, and my children also don't commit mistakes while doing this. So you can also have hint from this formula, and from this you will subtract the amount of reissue discount, and then you will find the capital gain at the time of reissue of shares. Now we will discuss the case of reissue of shares which have not been fully reissued with the help of the example. Alok Limited forfeited 300 equity shares of rupees 10 each, fully called up. So the full nominal value has been called up. For the non-payment of allotment money of 3 per share and the first and final call money of 4 per share, it means out of rupees 10, rupees 7 is not received. So what we have received is rupees 3 per share. So out of these 250 shares, see children, we have forfeited 300 shares, very important number to remember, and out of 300 we have reissued 250 shares for a total payment of 2000 rupees. So here also we have not been given the per share amount of reissue at which the shares have been reissued. So the amount is 2000 divided by 250, that is rupees 8 per share. So reissue is done at rupees 8 per share. And as the paid up value is not given, it will be assumed to have been the full called up value till forfeiture. At the time of forfeiture, we had called up rupees 10. So the full amount will be considered as to be the paid up value of the shares. Now, what journal entries we will pass for recording the forfeiture and reissue of such shares? So, how many shares we have forfeited? We have forfeited 300 shares. So, share capital account will be debited with the called up amount, which is the full nominal value of the share, that is rupees 3000, out of which we had received, as we discussed earlier, the allotment money of rupees 3 per share was not received, and final call of rupees 4 per share, that is 7 rupees were not received. So what we received is rupees 3 per share. So rupees 900 we received, and we did not receive share allotment again of rupees 3 per share. So on 300 shares it will come out to be rupees 900, and the remaining share first and final call of rupees 4 per share, that is 1200 we did not receive from the final call. So children, we will recheck the entry, and the totals of both debit and credit are equals. This was the entry we passed at the time of forfeiture of shares. So now we reissued 250 out of these shares at a value of rupees 2000. So we found out earlier also that the issue price per share is rupees 8, and the paid up value we will take to be the full called up value till the time of forfeiture of shares, and that was 10 rupees each, that is the full nominal value. So the difference will come in the shares forfeited account, representing the discount on reissue of shares. This is the difference, or the per share amount of discount is rupees 2. So this is the entry for reissue of shares at a discount. Now we will transfer the remaining amount of capital gain on the reissued shares to capital reserve. See, out of 300 shares, we have reissued 250 shares. So we earlier discussed the formula of share forfeited amount into reissued shares upon forfeited shares, and out of this we will subtract the amount of discount on reissue. So let us put the figures in this formula. So 900 is the amount of share forfeited account, and how many shares have been reissued? 250 out of 300 shares forfeited, and the amount of discount is 500. So this will be subtracted from this amount, and this amount will be transferred to capital reserve. So this amount comes out to be 750. So out of 750, 500 has been used for discount, and rest 250 we will transfer to capital reserve. So with this we transfer the amount to capital reserve that represent the capital gain on reissue of these shares, and the remaining balance of 150 rupees. Out of 900 rupees, 500 has been transferred to debited to share forfeited account once, and 250 have been debited once. So 150 rupees remain that will be there in the share forfeited account for those 50 shares which have not yet been forfeited. So these entries we pass at the time of reissue of shares which have been forfeited and which have been reissued at par, premium and discount.